The faith community has asked for restrictions which currently state that indoor gatherings should be limited to 100 people maximum be eased if there is enough indoor space to allow for social distancing. Let's speak now to Pastor Ray McCauley of the Rhema Bible Church. Pastor, good evening and thank you for your time. Why is it so important for the faith community to have the opportunity to worship together as a congregation this Easter?
Well, obviously, Easter is a very special time for the churches, and the Zionists have millions of people out there worshipping, and all our churches are normally full with people coming to celebrate the Easter weekend. And it is very important. As you know, we've already gone a year. We never had it last year, and it looks like we're going to have the same situation this year. But our disappointment's been a little bit in that the president's taking so long. I know tonight I think he will address the nation and tell us more about what he wants and allow us to do. But it's taken quite a while since our meeting to come back to us to prepare for the Easter weekend, whatever we have to do.
What are you hoping to hear tonight?
Well, obviously we would like it to be more than what it is, to allow more people than what he has allowed. But we also realize there's a fine balance between that and protecting people's lives. I mean, you know, we have a large congregation, and if you put 7,500 people into our church, all you need is for 5 or 6 to get the virus, and we'll have serious problems and consequences through that. So we've got to balance it to where the people's lives are safe, but at the same time, we want to be in a position to have some celebration at Easter.
Are you hoping that the president will announce that large churches that have a big indoor capacity can half fill those venues?
Well, that's what we've asked for. But I personally don't think he's going to allow that. That's my opinion. Tonight, I think he will say no to that. But that would be fantastic if we could have our buildings at a half potential of the seating.
Talk to us about the importance of faith at a terribly difficult time like this. We are a nation that has lost so much. I think almost every family has lost someone, either a family member or someone close to the family. It has been an extraordinarily difficult time. Also, the way we say goodbye and the way we hold our funerals has been changed. Just reflect for us, if you will, on where you think the sort of spiritual psyche is of our country currently.
Well, right now, obviously, we're at a place of being discouraged. A lot of people are depressed. But if you look worldwide, you'll see that even in certain countries, they've adopted cabinet ministers now in positions of looking after people that are suicidal. And when you look of what's happening in America and Europe, it has really become worse than a world war. And in South Africa, it's very similar. It's exposed a lot of people to where they're at in their lives, how they are dealing with things in their life. And it's been a very, very difficult time, particularly for all our pastors and the people involved in ministering to the people in the churches to have to cope and deal with it. And we've had quite a few funerals to do and quite a few hospital visits. And as you say, quite a few deaths, which have been very sad and very heartbroken about it.
So tending to those in your flock who are perhaps very depressed, very low, that obviously is not an easy thing to do when you're doing it over a Zoom call. So how are you looking after your people?
Well, I think first of all that we have to show them compassion and care, and that each one of them are valuable and precious to us, and that whatever their needs are, we are there to do our best to meet that need if we can. And that this is the time that the church really reaches out to the congregations, and especially at the moment, is the poor community. You know, there are a lot of churches that the pastors in those churches, so we've asked the government, let me say this, to help us and for them to contribute to helping these poor pastors that have got no financial income and they've got no technology available to them, and they're the ones that are battling the most, and they have no food. So this becomes crisis point for them. And we've got to try and do our best to be there for that and to help them and to feed who we can feed and to provide for the kids and so forth as well.
Thank you so much for talking to us this evening. That, of course, is Pastor Ray McCauley of the Rhema Bible Church, not hopeful that restrictions on gatherings for worship will be eased tonight.